to celebrate.
So pleased with yourself.
I'm not going to celebrate. I'm not going to show how pleased I am.
You already did.
No.
They can
I'm
see
hiding it. It's all
You're
inside.
smug.
It's all inside.
No, the smug comes right through the eyes.
It's not being hidden? No. Well, then why am I trying? Yes! Yes! Hi, it's Cake. Wait, shit.
It's Cake.
And Whimsy.
Whimsical in the brain pan. That's what we call him. Old Whimsical Dan.
I thought tonight it would be fun to go through our pantry. And by fun, I mean a little different than a lot of people's pantry. And then I thought, do I feel like cleaning my pantry? Not really. But I can transport what we generally eat over here into our studio. And so, by the magic of Hollywood...
Or legs.
Or legs. We're going to show you some of the things that are on our diet. And our diet is?
We do a combination of paleo and ketogenic. My nutritional therapist has approved this. I'm my nutritional therapist. We started it to treat multiple sclerosis symptoms, and it's working pretty well so far. Just gonna keep going with it. But that combination is a pretty difficult one. There's a lot of things you can't eat on that list, plus whatever food allergies you already have.
So very briefly, that is no dairy, no legumes and no grains.
No yeast.
No yeast. And then in addition to that, the keto part of it is mostly fat, almost no carbs, almost no protein.
Moderate protein. You're going to want between 75 and probably 85% fat for your calorie sources.
So we have a lot of fat and other things. So let's start with our vendors, for one. We're not being paid by any of these people, but if they decide they would like to pay us someday, we'll continue shilling for them, I guess.
We will take your money.
Our first and most longtime vendor is Nuts.com. Nuts.com, who I'm just going to take out the bag right now. We'll talk about it a little later because they love to decorate everything they send us in really fun stuff. That as well, a little fun story about their great grandpappy uncle, which is probably all made up. Sometimes you feel like a nut. They always do.
I trust them. I trust those faces. I don't think they'd make that up.
That's very true.
I think they're telling the truth.
You hear that? Jeffrey, Kenny, Sandy, and David. So, we love these guys. They're excellent quality, really good stuff. Comes in the mail very fast. The next vendor we'll discuss is Thrive. Once again, they kind of like to decorate their stuff a bit. Mm-hmm. This box is full of good stuff.
It is, or it was. It's not now, it's empty.
Yeah. This one is different because we pay a yearly membership, a small yearly membership, to be able to buy from them as a club. And then we buy a lot of things that we can't find anywhere else from them.
Or that we can find, but it's really expensive.
They're cool, though, because they also donate a portion of everything we spend to low-income families to get them groceries.
And at the end of the year, you get a report emailed to you about how many families they helped, and it's pretty neat.
So far on this order, we saved $32. That's Disney pin money right there. Cryo Brew is a new vendor of ours, and they give us our cacao nibs specifically for making kind of hot cocoa with, or a form of
unsweetened hot chocolate.
Unsweetened hot chocolate, although they do make this one in peppermint, which we like quite a bit.
Also full of a lot of minerals if you're trying to replace them because you're doing ketogenic diet.
Beyond that, we have Whole Foods and Trader Joe's that are our go-to standards for odds and ends here and there. However, one more thing about Thrive. they send us a lot of cans. We'll go through that in a second. One of the things they struggle with is how do I package these cans so they don't come to the user dented all the time. To that end, they have come up with fabulously innovative packaging technology, which still continues to sort of fail most of the time. But every time it's wrapped in a different way, and you know that someone there is going, all right, we're going to do something different. We're going to try it a different way.
On the plus side, sort of fails means also sort of succeeds.
Look at this. That is a lot of packaging for 2 cans. I feel like I should have written something on this as a streamer. Look at this. You could go afterwards and rob a bank.
This is going to turn into a Project Runway one where you're using unconventional materials.
Right, it is.
We're just going to use the packaging in a box from Thrive.
So we're going to say where we get some of this stuff from, and now you know who those vendors are anyway. So let's start with breakfast. If you have a very specialized diet, sometimes you have the same stuff all the time. It just helps make it easy to manage mornings and busy dinners. So we eat prosciutto almost every day because it's fatty, it's in our diet, it doesn't have a lot of additives in this one.
There are 2 ingredients, salt and pork. That makes it pretty easy to tell what you're eating.
Every morning we have a cocktail.
We have many.
It's a delicious cocktail of lemon juice and coconut water. This helps give us our, what is the thing we get from coconut water? Magnesium, which can help Jess sometimes with her headaches. And it gives me my vitamin C, I believe, and my lemon juice, or my lemon juice inside, citric acid, which helps me keep things like colds out of Jess's autoimmune deficient body. All right.
There are other cocktails we have for breakfast as well, like ginger tea with a healthy dose of turmeric and a pinch of cayenne and some black pepper.
And some lemon.
And some lemon.
And also fish oil and vitamin D.
Fish oil.
Add to that.
Just gotta go oil those fish.
Add to that some heavily oiled vegetables that we fry up. And on my end, a fried egg, and then also a little bit of pumpkin bread, our special pumpkin bread. Okay.
We'll probably show you how to make that at some point.
This is the thing we get from Whole Foods.
The
Sweetened condensed coconut milk. This is the only sweetener we use.
The one thing we get there.
A lot of our food is derived from coconut. It's a very fat thing.
We just eat coconut in all of its many forms. The reason we use that for our sweetener now instead of honey or maple syrup is because it has less sugar in it than either of those do per serving for the same amount, and it tastes just as sweet.
Very much so. We did a lot of experimenting.
And it has a lot of fat, which we need.
We have not just 1, but 2 coconut creams. This one is a little grainier. It works much better for things like chocolate milks and stuff, or cocos. And this one is really good for actually making whipped cream. So we can make a whipped cream dessert. With this one, we can't really with this. Trader Joe's, Thrive. I will also note on the Thrive one, it oftentimes comes with a very strange-ish smell to it. Which I'm still not 100% sure is supposed to be there.
And I will also note that it's actually Let's Do Organic is the company, not Thrive, because they have their own as well, I believe.
Oh.
And we get the Let's Do Organic. We order it from Thrive, though.
Right. I am sorry. Pumpkin!
Just a can of pumpkin.
We use pumpkin just so we can make our pumpkin bread. One of the few pastry-style desserts we can use. When we get into our meals, we often use our Thrive coconut wraps.
Which the ingredients are coconut and turmeric.
Yes, turmeric coconut. These are fantastic. These work just like regular wraps. They've fooled us all, and we also make like egg rolls out of these and all
They're very
sorts
versatile.
of things.
We use them for crepes because they have a little bit of a sweet quality to them as well. So you fill them with some of that coconut whipped cream on your coconut sheet, top it and sweeten it with some coconut, sweetened condensed coconut milk, and plop a full coconut on top.
There you go. As far as our condiments go, we are pretty simply Primal Kitchen Chipotle Lime Mayo with avocado oil and holy guacamole. That's pretty much the two things we, every once in a while, avocado by itself as well. But
So most of our foods are derived from coconut, except for our condiments, which all seem to be avocado based.
on the Thrive end of things, Thrive Market, this is our organic coconut milk. We use this for all kinds of stuff on a daily basis, whether it's making golden milk, whether it's making hot cocoa, whether it's trying to get a curry in.
We used to make our own coconut milk because it's a pretty easy process, but this is far easier. It was taking us a while to find a continual supply that didn't have all of the additives like carrageenan and stuff in it that are not great for you. But now that we have, life is grand and easier.
When you can't eat grains and you still want to bake and have that sort of carb fix, coconut flour, almond flour. Occasionally for me, though Jess doesn't deal with it well, hazelnut flour also from nuts.com.
Hazelnut flour, not as finely ground, and tends to have more of an oatmeal consistency when you're doing cookies with them.
This is our super secret ingredient for deep frying.
It is not super keto, but we do account for the carbohydrates in this when we're doing meals, and we just add extra fat in those meals.
It gives you an amazingly crispy coating on your chicken. Okay. Oils! We use primarily 3 oils here. Surprise, surprise. Coconut oil,
No, sir.
avocado oil, and olive oil. Double-sided.
I know that now.
So the reason we don't use olive oil for everything is because it has a very low smoke temperature on it. So once you put this into too much heat, it tends to turn into a bit of a carcinogen, and gets all the value of having that wonderful olive oil and throws it away. So we use avocado oil, which has a much higher smoke temperature, and coconut oil. And in the baking end of things, coconut oil has that tendency, once it gets to room temperature, to get a little bit more solid. And so it can give a lot of great form to things like cookies and stuff. We still need snacks, right? Enter Taza Chocolate.
Now, we did a fun thing where we went on a tour of their chocolate facility, and it was excellent. It's in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I highly recommend that tour to anybody who is in the area. You get lots of free chocolate during it, too.
Oh, yeah. And we'll probably go again.
This has very little by way of additives to it, which is why we can have it. And it's also a super dark chocolate, so it's not a very high sugar content either.
Mainly cacao.
Mm-hmm.
No milk added. And you'll be very surprised, coconut chips. In cocoa flavor and original flavor.
For those of you who saw our trip to Maine, you're less surprised.
This brand is Buddha brand.
Hungry Buddha.
Hungry Buddha. Oh, okay. There's another vendor we discovered a while back, Vermont Smoke and Cure. And these guys make some of the sausages we get, as well as these little meat sticks, which are great for a fix in the middle of the day if you need one.
Or when you're traveling. One thing to note about them is they're great. We love their products. However, they do have some shipment and delivery issues on occasion.
Sometimes they just forget you ordered from them.
Yeah, and you have to do a couple of follow-ups and they don't always respond right away. But their product is fantastic, so just be aware of that.
And how can you possibly cook chocolate chip cookies without chocolate chips? And we can't have anything with milk in it in any way, or milk chocolate. So these are the Enjoy Life chocolate morsels. And also, Epic pork rinds. These are a nice fatty snack.
Epic also makes meat sticks and nuggets and things that we get on occasion as well. The pork bacon one in particular, I think, is very good.
We get these from Thrive, but you can also get them at Whole Foods. And then when we want to make some regular hot cocoa, or milkshakes, we use a little bit of 100% cacao from Hershey's, of all places.
Occasionally we also buy our cacao or cocoa from Atlantic Spice Company, which is where we buy all of our spices and seasonings, and we buy them in bulk because we over flavor our food just to make it enjoyable, since we've had to take so much out of it that normally lends flavor. So we buy our spices by the pound.
You might think that this is also our spice cabinet.
It's not.
But it is not. These are specific tea spices, even though some of them are the same. We have another whole cabinet over there that has nothing but our cooking spices.
That's about the size of one of these.
Because we're maniacs. And I overseason everything. And the last thing I think we have, these are our essential oils. We don't cook with these often, though they are food grade. These are all Rocky Mountain oil. We have the cinnamon, the orange, the lemon. These sometimes can be used to help out, peppermint can be used to help out things like meringues or some of our whipped creams, or even our cocoa sometimes. Just get a little bit of extra flavor to it. But they can get strong very, very fast, and so we don't do that too often.
Start off by using a drop. See where that gets you.
Yes. And we mentioned this the other night, but our lavender oil also comes from there. We don't drink our lavender oil or cook with it, but it is still food grade. That is strictly for going on our pillow at night, so we can get to sleep. That was exciting, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know that it was exciting, but there was an awful lot. I don't think I missed anything. So that's what our pantry looks like, and even though it seemed like a lot of stuff here, that's pretty much everything we cook with that isn't meat.
And vegetables.
And vegetables.
Yeah.
And that's how we stay on the good side of our diet.
Yeah, we just make different combinations with these things, which will make Aluminum Chef a little bit easier to coordinate than it used to be.
And a whole lot trickier to get tricky with. You know, I think we should call it then.
So
let's frost the cake. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to
You're
celebrate.
so pleased with yourself.
I'm not going to celebrate. I'm not going to show how pleased I am.
You already did.